All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to the wrong end of the snake. It's the question and answer overtime period here with Phil X. He graciously agreed to come on with us for another 30 minutes to answer some questions that we got during the period. And also, I know Tater. I mean, listen, dude, we could talk to you for hours. I mean, you know, there's so much stuff. We don't want to take up all your time, but we do have some more questions. So Tater, you got a question for Phil?
I've got a bunch. I just want to start out with thanking him first. It was fantastic. We got together because of Mark Van Gool, who is his tech. And if you go on YouTube, there's a great YouTube video of you guys playing Wembley and Coventry and some other places. Mark is in there if you want to see him. And Mark does the rundown of the gear when Phil lets him talk about it. And then there's a little funny excerpt in there.
Oh, I remember that. I told you not to talk.
Yeah.
Mark was guitar tech on Linkin Park when Tater and I were doing Linkin Park. So that's how we know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So, I had seen the Unchained thing and, I'd known Mark worked with you and I had saw that. And that was really my introduction to your playing and all that stuff. And you know how blown away I was by that. I just wrote Mark a note and I said, Mark, your boy there just blew me away and I can't believe it. And this all started from there. So we thank you. We really do. We thank Mark. I want to go a little bit in that rig rundown. We don't normally talk a lot about gear on this, but you use Arcane pickups. And I think Arcane is the place in Third Encore, the little room in Third Encore, right?
Rob,
I'd like to give them a shout out.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And Friedman Amplification. I like to always give Dave a shout out because he's another guy that I grew up with here in Detroit.
Wow.
So, and we played in rival bands together in the Detroit area in our youth. I'd like to know a little bit about Dave and you're using Friedman amps.
Dave, he's like a mad scientist kind of thing.
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
Totally. And then I walked in and I said, there was an amp show in Van Nuys. I remember being at an amp show and I remember hearing about Friedman amps and I'd walked in and I guess Dave knew who I was, but I didn't know who Dave was. But I plugged into the BE100 and I started playing and I turned the gain down and I started playing again. And he's like, what'd you just do? I go, I turned the gain down. He goes, oh my God, thank the Lord. Everybody just comes in here and dimes the gain. And you don't really hear the character of the amp when you dime the gain. So I'm glad you turned it down. And then we started talking. He goes, you know what? Why don't you borrow a BE100 for, a while and see if you like it? And I'm like, sure, man. I got rehearsal next week. I'll come and get one and I'll go rehearse with the band with it. And I plugged into that amp. And I usually use two overdrive pedals. I still do, like for different flavors, like run the amp a certain way. Not too gainy or anything. And when I need the solo, I'll use a pedal or two. And before even stepping on a pedal or anything, and I've been playing a really long time. I was like, I think this is the best amp I've ever played in my life.
Wow.
And I called him and I said that. And he goes, wow. Well, I mean, if say we wanted to do a head just for you, what would you change about it? And I go, well, I'm going to be honest that, cause it's constructive honesty, obviously. I said, if you like when I'm playing the amp and it's giving me what I want, and then I turn down the gain even more to get more of an AC/DC Jimmy Page vibe, the amazingness kind of goes away. And he goes, well, maybe you need a tone cut instead of just turning. And I'm like, well, that sounds good. So took him the head that he was making for me. And then he gave it back with the tone cut. And I was like, I found the tone cut kind of like a blanket. Like it went from, to, and so I told him that. He goes, the best thing to do, just bring your guitar, your cabinet, come to the shop. We'll tweak it. I'm like, well, I was like, that whole kid in the candy store thing? This was incredible. I'm like, what? So he's got the chassis open with the solder iron and components.
Yeah.
And I'm playing the guitar and he goes, how's this? And I'm like, it's still a little dark. And then how about this? And I'm like, that's a little brittle. Yeah. I thought I'd try a ceramic component, but we'll go back to this one. And then I'm playing it. And then he goes, hey, I'm going to try something. And he took an alligator clip and he put the alligator clip, I don't know where. And that's it. He goes, done. Took a note, sent it to the builder, and the amp was on its way.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't know a lot of people that get that opportunity, but it was pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
Because it's not somebody else playing. It's your hands. It's you playing your guitar into your amp. And it was funny because I did a gig somewhere, and I was using my famous custom Phil X guitar at the time with my Arcane pickup and my Friedman amplifier. And somebody walked in and goes, your sound is incredible. And I'm like, well, it's all signature stuff. If it wasn't incredible, I'd be a fucking idiot.
Right, yeah.
If it doesn't sound amazing, yeah, I know, right?
So, I mean, but that was my story with Dave, and Dave is just, and it's funny too, because he made the BE 100 Deluxe, and I played that at the last NAMM show, or it might have been 2 NAMM shows ago. And it had a reverse feedback response knob that my amp doesn't have. And I was playing the BE 100, and it just opened up the amp like amazingly. And I'm like, oh my God, I need this knob.
Version 2.
So I took him my amp, and then 20 minutes he put the knob in, and then I went home. And he also gave me a deep knob as well, both on the back. And I went home, and I was so excited to play with that resonance knob. But my amp is a cleaner version of the BE 100, which is very open sounding. It's not as compressed. So that resonance knob did shit. I'm like, what? Come on. I thought it was going to make it better, and it didn't make it better. So I'm turning it up, trying different things. And then I just turn it off, and I'm like, there's my amp. That's fine.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah. So I mean,
let me ask
it's
you,
always a learning process, but I'm a geek. So what's not to love about the learning process, right?
That's what, the weirdest thing when I get a guitar player that's technically a great player, but shows up and their sound is shitty. I always go, like, you didn't spend hours in your room, like tweaking your own tone. Like, I spent hours when I was a teenager, messing with stuff and changing pedals. And, I know I'm a sound guy, so it's important to me, but it's like anytime that I see a guitar player that doesn't mess with their sound as much as they mess with their technical playing, drives me crazy.
I remember going to a rehearsal place, and this guy he had every knob on his Marshall dimed. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh, okay. God. You're ripping my head off. What are you doing? And I'm like, why are you dying?
Is that Billy Corgan, by the way?
No.
That's what he does.
No, but this is what Eddie Van Halen does. I'm like,
oh, okay, shit.
Well, but it's not working.
Yeah.
It's not even
It's totally not working.
I think I want to ask about the sticker guitar. Is there a sticker guitar?
Yeah, man. I got 2 of them. One had one. I used one on the Bon Jovi tour in 2011 and 2013.
Then maybe I'm not talking about the right guitar. I saw you playing guitar. I thought it was a sticker guitar, and there is a fan grill over the neck pickup.
Yeah, I started pulling out the neck pickups in the ESPs because they have 24 frets, and I found that no matter what neck pickup I tried in there, it didn't sound good because of the position. But then I'm not a big neck pickup guy. Like when I play with the drills, it's just one pickup. When I play with Bon Jovi, obviously some songs need a neck pickup, So there's no pickup
behind that fan grill is what you're saying.
Right. It's just a big gaping hole. But there's probably an action figure in there.
Kids threw it in there. Dang it.
Wait. I have guitars with action figures in the neck position, but my son's been taking them out.
Of course he has.
Okay, I thought that was a very interesting look, and I didn't know if it was actually functionable.
No.
Also,
right. Go ahead.
One more thing. In the Unchained video, going back to that, is your one fingernail painted, or was that a accident? Is it a bruise?
I was painted.
Okay, I was
It
going to
was, it was
say.
my daughter.
Okay, good.
And I
Because
couldn't take it off.
with your hands, you better not be using hammers and all that kind of stuff.
I did have a band called Powder where I did wear nail polish, and then I also worked for a film premiere party company that would do huge parties, and you're hammering and doing all kinds of stuff like this. And all these guys have these black nails from hammering their nails, you know, because the guy's screaming at you, you're hammering, and you're like, what? Ah! So anyways, but I got my fingernails painted, and it's, you know, it's been a couple of shows, so it's come off a little bit here and there. And he was walking by, and he looked at me and goes, did you hammer every finger? No, dude, it's old nail polish. He goes,
It's all nail polish.
I was gonna let you go before you cut your hands off.
Yeah, for real.
I was worried about you using a hammer with after that guitar playing. I heard.
No, it's funny, but it's funny that you noticed, because a lot of people didn't notice.
Oh no, I noticed everything in that video. And a matter of fact, I'll make another comment. Not only is the guitar right in your mixes of Van Halen, very important. People don't realize the hi-hat sound and the mix of the hi-hat.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very good because the hi-hat in most Van Halen recordings is blazing. Yeah. And, you know, it's very present, and yours sounded very good. So
thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I don't know if it was Kenny's playing, the mixing, the mics, whatever, but absolutely.
He just sent me the drums. He just sent me a stem. No,
he did?
No, he sent me all the tracks. He has an engineer, and he sent me all the stuff. And I was like, I think the snare could have been closer, because Alex's snare is obviously a signature snare sound.
Definitely.
But I think the snare could have been closer. But I think I did get the overheads and the hi-hat pretty fiery, which is, I mean, you got a fiery guitar, you need a fiery drummer.
Yeah, for real.
A brotherhood from heaven.
Yeah, that's it, man. Hey, speak to the up and coming guitar player in this world. I mean, it must be crazy. You know, we live in this world where people are being found by YouTube, right? You know, kids are being found by YouTube, but it's like, how do you break through the noise of the thousands of other kids that are trying to make it that way? Like, how do you make yourself stand out from all of that noise?
Well, I mean, it's tricky. I wanna say, like I said, the fretted Americana thing was an accident, but it was because we were doing something special and it had personality. So I think that's really important. And you need to know, and I say this at clinics, if you're sitting on your bed in track pants with the crotch shot, and you're playing the solo to Stairway to Heaven to the record, I and many other people don't give a fuck. I mean, you know, because I'm a huge Ed fan, people send me stuff, right? Here, check out this 14-year-old girl.
Oh my God, I know.
She nailed Eruption. I'm like, she's sitting there.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like, if she doesn't do a backflip in 5 seconds, I'm out. I want to see something. I want to see excitement. Eddie never played like that. When I saw him, he was a superhero because he was sprinting across the stage and climbing the PA and jumping 10 feet off the drum riser. That's what the Eddie Van Halen. So when you're just sitting there playing Eruption, I don't care if you're nailing it and you don't have the soul that goes with it. Right. But I just feel like if nobody can do that. So, but you do have to do something special. We did something special, and I went to I went to GitCon, which was a YouTuber convention in Germany. Wow. And so I'm meeting all these guys that are really successful and doing really good stuff. And they're coming up to me saying, thanks, man. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing what I do. And I'm like, how did that happen? You know? Right. But at the same time, I thought I wanted, when COVID happened, I thought, well, if I'm not going to play, maybe I should start putting YouTube content up again. Right. And I wanted to make it. So what can I do that other YouTubers don't do? So I stand out. And I started doing, this is what I played on this record, and this is what I played on this record, and this is the tone that I got to do that. And nobody gave a shit. I'd give a shit. I mean, you guys might.
I think I could see your passion in those, and I think that's what was exciting to me.
Yeah, I mean,
your passion for it.
If you start doing content and you don't look at the numbers to see what works, like if I put up, you know, Unchained got 130,000 views in a week.
Yeah.
You know, but I put up, okay, except for Chris Cornell, because he's not with us anymore. It was very meaningful for me to put up a video of what I played on the single that I played with him. You know, that's approaching, still just after months, still just approaching 30,000. You
Wow.
know, Brutal Planet. I'll read some comments. People will be like, man, I never heard of you, but I'd go to any YouTube video that mentions Alice Cooper, and this was amazing. I'm subscribing and that kind of thing, you know? And the other thing that happens with YouTube is steady content. When I got busy in June, I started doing a lot of remote sessions at home in this cave. I hadn't put up a video for a month between the last one before Unchained and Unchained. And my subscribers went from constantly climbing to stuck.
Wow.
Didn't move. And then when I put up Unchained, it went up another 3,000 or 4,000. And then I put up something else. But that's how you learn. Like, I mean, anything Van Halen would take me over 100,000. I did a cover of Highway Star to the original Bed tracks, which, you know, I feel like I played my ass off, and that got pretty high. Zeppelin, I think me, Tishy, and Dan did an amazing cover of Black Dog, but that hasn't hit 100 yet. You know, it's kind of, you see what works and what doesn't work. So I think that's another tip to people that are putting out content. If you put out a video and you don't get a lot of views, don't keep putting out the same vibe.
Yeah. Don't keep putting out the same stuff.
And
Not working, don't keep doing it.
yeah, so but if you put out something and it's got more vibes, do more of that. But it's a learning process again, right?
Do you feel like that is the path? Like I'm trying to help the young guitar player that's out there and sees your path to this amazing, you know, path that you've taken. Yeah. And not necessarily like an online thing. Like what advice would you give to an aspiring guitar player who wants to be you?
See, that's a tough one, because I think the online thing is the trick. Okay, remember when I was a kid, it's just guitar playing. I practiced and practiced and practiced and kept practicing. And it's almost like you just can't be a great musician anymore. You need to be a great musician, have marketing skills, have video editing skills, have recording. You got to be able to record at home. I mean, it's all under the umbrella of, if you want to get somewhere, you need to wear all those hats at any given time. And I shot a drills video called Talk You Off the Ledge. I think that might've been in 2010 or 11. And I shot it on iPhones and I edited it in iMovie. And my friends were calling saying, did you guys get a deal? Because that video looks amazing.
That's amazing.
And well, it is, because I mean, you have to develop an eye and you have to develop a relationship with your fans, even if it's 10.
Yeah.
Because it's the shampoo commercial. They'll tell 2 friends and they'll tell 2 friends and they'll tell 2 friends. Before you know it, it's 10,000 people. So it's what it takes. It really takes wearing multiple hats and having an online presence. So I don't know if
I don't either. I mean, it's a hard question, because I always tell people, listen, the reason, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan is who he was, the reason Eddie Van Halen is who he was, is not because they sat in their rooms practicing.
Well, remember what I said earlier was, if I came up with the lick and didn't apply it immediately, like in a song or a song that I've written or in a covered tune in the 3rd set that night, it didn't become a part of me. Yeah. So that's, you know, even if you're playing with another guitar player and you go, hey man, check out this lick, and he goes, wow, that's a really cool lick, and then and then he plays a rhythm, and then you do that lick a couple of times, that's how it becomes a part of you. Otherwise, you're just rehearsing and rehearsing and rehearsing. There's only so far that's going to get you.
I know. I mean, I grew up in the, you know, of course, Van Halen and, you know, Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath and those bands were my bands. But then it was the whole Varney thing, Shrapnel, So, you know, all those guys that were just like, you know, technical monsters, Paul Gilbert and Chet Thompson and, you know, whoever else, all those Varney guys, right? You know, and so I would sit at home just like, you know, shedding, you know, trying to get the technical part of it. But what I lost was the heart. There wasn't any heart in any of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of heart missing. And speaking of Varney, hung out with him a couple of times.
No way.
In Vegas when I lived there. And he came to see the drills at Vamped, and he came up to me after and he goes, "That's the best guitar sound I've heard in a long time."
That's so great.
Thank you, famous and Arcane.
Exactly.
Now I'm with Gibson, which is a huge endeavor. Yeah, I
oh, that's great, man. Good for you.
In January, I'm so happy. Like everything that I've picked up or they've sent, I've just been blown away. And I always
their custom shop is unbelievable.
But I always shied away from Gibson because I always thought that their quality control was in the lacking department. So when I went there, I was in Nashville and I went to the factories last August, and I was blown away. The quality control is picked up so immensely, and everybody there, whether you're putting binding on a Les Paul or wiring a Flying V, everybody's happy and like, this is our family. We love it here. So I was like, wow. So we announced my my joining Gibson at the last NAMM show in January.
Congratulations!
And we did
this
fantastic.
Yeah, congratulations.
The Drills did a 20-minute set in the Gibson booth, and everybody came up to me and they were like, "Okay, we got the right guy." Because not only was the place packed, there was like 400 people trying to get in.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was like really exciting. And Derek St. Holmes got up with us and we did a short stranglehold. And I love I love Derek.
One of my favorite singers.
Yeah, dude.
He's amazing.
I dropped the needle on Double Live Gonzo when I was 11, like at least 400 times.
Totally.
So I have flashbacks. When he opens his mouth, because he sounds amazing. When he opens his mouth and starts singing like just what the doctor ordered, or "Hey Baby," or "Stranglehold," I feel like I'm 11 again, dropping the needle. It's like music is like time travel.
Yeah.
You know, you remember your first kiss, your first concert. You remember smells from hearing something. I mean, it's the only thing that does that. So why wouldn't you put that emotion into what you play?
I know it.
You know,
it's funny. Tater and I, our first gig that we worked together on was Ted Nugent. So
what year?
That's awesome. Yeah.
What year?
What year was that, Tater?
Early 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
I just like all the Michigan references here. Gibson was originally in
Michigan. Right.
Ted Nugent's a Michigan guy. I love it.
Dude, when I was seeing every time Nugent came to Maple Leaf Gardens, or even C&E Grandstand, which isn't even there anymore. Actually, Maple Leaf Gardens isn't there anymore either. That was in the 80s. Like I was a kid. I was probably 15. So like 1981.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was going to concerts, and I saw the one where he swang across the stage, and in a loincloth, and shot a bow across the stage with a guitar and shit like that. I was like, this guy's nuts.
He when we were working for him, he did this a live video from Detroit, full bluntal Nugenty or whatever it's called, and in the first like 3 minutes of it, he's screaming at me to turn up his guitar, which is awesome. I feel like I got my limelight there by Ted Nugent screaming at me to turn up his Birdland. So good times.
I'd like to see your comments on this. When I'm mixing, especially dual guitar bands, and I don't really want to mention the bands, but man, I can, and I'm nowhere. I can't play guitar. I was a bass player and I was terrible. I'm a terrible musician. But when I'm mixing two guitar players in a band, I can really tell the guy who's playing the guitar and the guy who the guitar is an extension of himself.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Total, complete.
The other guy can be a much better technical player, but that one guy where the guitar is the extension of himself, it's a totally other animal. And when you're mixing that in a set of in-ear monitors where it's, in your head, the difference is incredible and very hard to mix, believe it or not, because they mesh totally different. But do you find there's players like that? And you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, it's like when they play, it's like breathing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it goes with the sound too. Like
yes. Oh yeah, 100%.
The guy with the extension could plug into anything and sound good.
Yes.
And the guy that's just playing needs a good rig.
Yeah. And even then it's not good. Well, to kind of, we're walking down this path. Let's kind of finish up on this note.
Yeah.
There's probably a bunch of engineers that have been watching this. From your perspective as being Phil X, the guitar player of Bon Jovi, what is it that you're looking for from a sound guy to help you get what you need?
Yeah,
so from your monitor guy or from the front of house guy, either one.
It's funny that you said that, because I mean, I've had conversations with sound guys and stage guys, and it's always funny when they don't know who I am. But I'm the last guy to tell you who I am. Just take it as an opinion. Like I've had people put a mic on a grill cloth where there was no speaker.
Right.
I'm like, dude, where's your flashlight?
Yeah, come on, man.
Put a flashlight out. Yeah.
It's these guys. Okay, this is a funny story. I'm still doing covers up in Canada, and it's a small hick town, and the guy only had 157, and he put it on the snare, and then he put a Radio Shack on a microphone on my cabinet, and I go, dude, don't you have another 57? He goes, well, I'll take it off the snare, but you better be good.
I love that.
Right?
Did he come to you afterwards and go,
Oh,
I made the right choice?
Yeah. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Here's my card.
That's so great.
And then, but it's funny. I feel like when it comes to sound guys, I feel like some people, they get into a situation and I don't know. I mean, everybody, you work with a lot of people, and the people that stick around the longest are the people that have great attitudes and great personalities, and the people you want to hang out with.
That's right.
I remember going to a thing where it was a school of rock, and I was talking to a guy. No, I was watching a band, and these are kids. They're putting their hearts out on their sleeves.
Totally.
And they're putting heart into their performances. And instead of the sound guy behind me boosting a solo, he's on his phone. So I got to go talk to this guy. And again, he doesn't know who I am. So he just thinks I'm the kid's dad or something. I go, dude, don't you want to boost a solo or something? And then he finds out who he is. And then he, oh, dude, sorry, I didn't know who you were. I go, it doesn't matter who I am.
Doesn't matter who I am.
Solos.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then I was blown away by some of these kids, blown away.
Totally.
And then this other kid, I can't hear his guitar because the stagehand put the mic on, like, over here.
Oh, no.
Not even on the cone. And I talked to him and I'm like, hey, dude, do you think you should move that mic onto the speaker? He goes, it is on the speaker. I go, it's on the edge. Well, that's where you put it. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Yeah.
And then he goes, he's giving me the attitude, like, oh, who the fuck are you, dude? Just get out of here, right? And I call the main guy. And I go, excuse me, what's your name? He goes, Steve. Come here, Steve. Are you the head guy here? He goes, yeah. I go, this is a guitar speaker cone. Tell me where you put the microphone. And he goes, oh, you put it right there.
Oh.
I look at the guy, tell him that. And he goes, yeah, dude, where are you putting the microphone? He goes, he's like,
oh my god.
I was like, you know what I mean? I'm not here to give anybody a hard time, but learn your gig.
Yeah. Learn your craft. That's the thing, and care about it. I know, the reason that I have ended up where I am and where Tater has ended up where he is because when we were working in the clubs, we gave a shit and we actually paid attention and put things, we wanted to be better. We wanted it to be right for you guys. And I think there's this real apathy that happens. I mean, especially now, like, it's weird. I think about this a lot. I feel like I'm turning into my own grandfather. They're like, these damn kids, but in some ways, I look at this new generation of engineers and I'm like, they don't want to work hard. They're like here and kind of just don't give a shit. And those are the people that aren't going to make it.
Well, this is in LA, right? A lot of the sound guys in the clubs
Oh my God,
are
I know.
frustrated musicians.
Yes,
so
I
when
know.
I started playing on the scene, everybody was giving me attitude. But then they saw us play.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when they see you play, then they want to kiss your ass. Because if you ever need a sound guy,
Yeah, right.
dude, we're past this because
Yeah.
when you didn't hear me play, you treated me like
Treated me poorly. Yeah.
a
So
homeless person. you
fuck
know?
off. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Very important lessons there.
Yeah, man.
yeah, I think you guys, me, everybody I know that's gotten somewhere, it's because work ethic, attitude, and treating people the way you want to be treated.
With respect. Yep.
100%.
That's right. 100%.
Guys, you know what? I hate to cut out short.
No. We're done, man. Yeah. I was just going to say thank you so much.
kids
Dude, you
screaming
gave
that.
so much of your time and
Yeah.
I know you're super
But
busy.
I'm
so.
super glad to have been here. It's been
Yeah,
great.
man.
Yeah, thank
It
you.
was
so
really
much.
great.
And I'm gonna hit you up for tickets when we get back on the road.
Please do. Yeah, I'd love to have you come to a Maiden show, man. That would be so great.
Woo!
Yeah, hell yeah. Anyway, all right. Thanks a lot, dude.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you. And
Okay.
We'll talk
Keep
to
the
you soon. I
videos
hope.
coming,
Okay.
please.
Yeah,
Keep
man.
those
Keep the videos coming.
please.
Yeah, for
I will
sure.
for sure, man.
Please.
I got a special one coming up soon.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Can't wait. All right, man.
Thanks, Phil.
Cool. See ya.